Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I teased this video a little bit in some previous videos. You will have already seen this item styled a couple of times with various outfits. However, this is such a special piece in my opinion that I wanted to create a video dedicated to it because I think it's really revolutionized how I'm able to style certain items in my wardrobe, and I think you guys will agree, hopefully. So I just want to talk a little bit about what the item is, again, price point, things I like about it, things I don't like about it, how I'm styling it. So hopefully just give you the deep dive that maybe you were looking for when you stumbled across this video. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about the Row sock boot. And particularly the sock boot that comes in mesh. So let's start there. So the Row sock boot has been around for a little while. It's definitely not a new item. I'm not sure exactly when they came out with it, but it comes in a number of colors, not a lot. So this particular boot, which is the mesh boot, comes also in a kind of tan color, which to me, it's a little bit too much looking like a foot, frankly, so wasn't particularly interested in those, but I just wanted to call out they do come in a tan color. This boot also comes in a leather. Obviously the leather is a little bit higher of a price point, so the leather boot is I think around $1,290 by the time this video is published. And this boot was a little bit less expensive because obviously leather is more expensive, and this is like a mesh fabric. This boot is around $720. I got this one off of Net-a-Porter. I got very, very lucky because I'm sure someone did a return somewhere in the world and my size became available. I did get this in a size 40. I am consistently a size 40 in the Row. However, I honestly probably could have gotten away with a size 41. These are definitely to the toe. They fit very, very snugly. I wouldn't say they're too small, but I do think I could have been between a 40 and a 41 in this particular shoe. However, in full disclosure, I have not even tried on the 41, so maybe it would be too big, but the 40 works just fine. I think the time that it becomes a little bit tight is when I wear a sock underneath of it, like a thicker sock, and I'll get into that in a little bit, but yeah, that's it for the sizing on this. And I got it on Net-a-Porter because my size became available, but you can get it on pretty much any luxury reseller. I will leave them linked below. I think Bergdorf's carries them. You can get them obviously directly from the Row. However, this is a really popular style, so not a lot of sizes are available. So I would just keep an eye out, as I think my Teresa is another one that carries them. So they're a little bit hard to get, but they are really, really cool. I was really motivated to purchase these because I saw the way that they were styled in a campaign for Pixie Market, which is another place that I really like to shop, and I got this beautiful little wool dress from recently. So when I was purchasing those items, which I shared in my last video, what's new in my wardrobe video, which I'll leave linked above and below, I just saw the way that they styled this shoe. Of course, they didn't call out that it was the Row sock boot and it was the leather version, but I knew, I could tell, and I thought something just clicked where I feel like I've been struggling ever since the whole trend of maxi skirts and midi skirts and things have come out to really find the right way to style these items where they look super cool. And when I saw this boot paired with, which I do have, the faux leather midi skirt, or it's kind of a maxi skirt on me from Pixie Market, I just thought that is perfect. That is perfection. Gorgeous sweater. And then I think they actually also paired it with the Row's little pouch necklace. This was just such a cool look to me. It's almost apocalyptic, extremely modern. And so I thought, man, I need to get my hands on these boots. So that was the original motivation for purchasing the boots. And once I got them, they come in a box, which of course I don't have anymore, unfortunately, but they also come with this little dust bag, which if you haven't ever purchased any shoes from the Row before, I love their shoe bags because they're beautiful, they're simple, they have this gorgeous little the row branding here, but then they're also sewn through the middle. So it's one bag, but then the shoes are separated, which I love. I also have boots from the row that I love so much, and I got a similar giant dust bag for those where they're separated. It's just like a very thoughtful thing to do, and that is the row. They're very thoughtful brand in general. So you get the little dust bag, and I originally wanted to go for the mesh because A, it was an easier entry point. It was a little bit lower cost, but that honestly wasn't actually the reason. The reason why is because I felt like there was more versatility with the mesh. So I mentioned a little bit the fact that you can wear socks underneath of it. So I thought that I could really get the same look and feel of the leather boot by taking away the opacity of the shoe by just wearing it with a black sock. So you get the same look as the leather sock boot. Obviously it doesn't have the sheen or the patina of a leather, but you do get a little bit of that warmth. So I have worn these shoes in the wintertime or in the fall when it's been a little cooler, but I also love that they can be very breathable, so I could wear them in the spring or the summer as well. I just find a shoe like this is extremely versatile, so I really loved that. Obviously the leather version is really beautiful too, but you can only wear it in the fall or the winter. It's much less of like a spring summer shoe. And I really love wearing mesh shoes. I've talked about this previously with my Jeffrey Campbell little Mary Jane shoes. I wear those all the time in the city because they're breathable, they are very appropriate for spring, summer, but my feet are protected from all the beautiful things that are on the New York streets. So these boots kind of give that same affordance, which is great. So some other things that I love about this boot, I wrote them all down so that I don't forget any, but they are really comfortable in some ways. I'll get to the downsides in a moment, but they're super comfortable when it comes to if you have any like blisters or if your feet are fatigued because of wearing other shoes. I really love wearing these. I wore these a lot on my trip to Paris and Venice because at various points throughout the trip, it's inevitable. We're walking like 20,000 steps a day. I did get blisters, so it's really nice to be able to put on a boot like this that is just super lightweight. Even wearing it with a sock, you're not gonna really have any rubbing. So it's kind of like that little vacation of a shoe when you need a break, kind of like the Birkenstock. When you need a break from your other shoes, this is a really great shoe in the sense that it's not gonna give you blisters, it's not gonna rub. So I really love it for that reason. Also from a practicality standpoint, they are extremely lightweight and very thin, so they're very easy to pack, which for a boot, that's normally not the case. So I love that you get the look of like a Chelsea boot or a combat boot, but it takes up basically no room in your suitcase, and they're very lightweight. So that's a big plus for these as well. And again, as I mentioned, I just love the little dose of modernity that this inserts to especially more conservative pieces like a cardigan or again, a maxi skirt or a maxi dress. This just really elevates the look into a modern place for those items that can tend to lean a little more dowdy sometimes, just depending on how you style them. So again, I'll get into the styling in a moment. However, some of the downsides that I do want to call out to this shoe is that because they're so lightweight and really easy to pack and all of those great things, they really don't have much arch support. Hopefully you can see through here. It's really just a flat piece of leather. There's zero arch support whatsoever in the shoe. However, I'm kind of used to that with a lot of my shoes, and I am used to walking a lot. So, and maybe it's just my feet. Maybe I have feet that don't really need a lot of arch support, which I'm lucky with, I guess. But yeah, so just wanted to call that out. It's going to feel like you're really feeling the ground beneath your feet. So if you do require that arch support, I would suggest maybe trying like an insert or something to help with these particular shoes because they just don't have that really built into the shoe. It's part of the minimalism and the beauty of the shoe. But yeah, just did want to call out that not a lot there in terms of arch support. The other thing I wanted to call out, which you guys might be thinking, and when I originally got them, I was honestly kind of scared to take them off and put them on because of how incredibly delicate this mesh is. However, knock on wood, I don't know what this is made out of, but it's an incredibly strong, stretchy material. So I haven't had any problems with ripping or piercing, and I've worn these quite a few times now in many different situations, walking quite a bit. So knock on wood, they do seem to be extremely well stitched and very well made, which is what you would expect from a brand like the Row. And so they're not as delicate as I feared because of this beautiful mesh. So yeah, did just want to call that out if you're thinking, you know, is your toe going to pop through or are you going to rip them by tugging them on and off, because they are very fitted to the foot, which again is the beauty of the design. But I just wanted to call out that I haven't had a problem as of yet. I've had them for 3 months now or so, and again, I've worn them many times, but they are very delicate in the sense that they're mesh. So I did want to call that out, even though they do seem quite sturdy. As I mentioned in my mango sale video as well, there are not a lot of alternatives to this shoe on the market in terms of lesser price alternatives, and I do think it would be really challenging to find a high quality just thing that compares, frankly, because of the fact that the fabric is so high quality, because it is so strong and it doesn't seem to rip or tear or break or anything. I do think a lower priced option might fall apart a lot easier, just to be perfectly candid. However, this is one option that I saw on Mango. So if you do love this look, but the boots from the Row are a little bit out of your price range, this could be a really nice alternative. These are 100% leather. I got them on this incredible sale, so I got them an even lower price. But even at their standard price, I think they were around $190. It's still about, you know, $500 less than the mesh boots and about $1,000 less than the leather boots. So if you're on the fence about these and you want to just try them out, this could also be a really great option. Things I do want to call out though, that I did call out in my sale video, is the Row sock boot has more of a rounded toe, and these have more of they almost look like a tabby shoe, even because of the stitching. In fact, my partner saw them and he goes, "Oh, you got some tabbies from Margiela." And I was like, no, these are just from Mango, but they do kind of have that look to them. So did just want to call out kind of the difference in shape between the two. But in terms of the form fittedness on the foot and that beautiful sock kind of shape, these also definitely have them. So I will include these in the description box below if you want to check those out. So now let's get into how I style these shoes. In fact, I'm gonna scooch on over so I can put the cutaways over here. So there's a few ways that I like to style these boots. I like to think of these boots as kind of a modern day Chelsea boot. So I think that's a great hack for anything that you would usually pair a Chelsea boot with. These could be a really great alternative because they are even less traditional, even more streamlined and fitted to the foot, and therefore I think more modern. I also think this mesh material, because it's more of an unconventional material, even though it has been such a popular material over the past couple of years, that also adds this dose of modernity. It's very different from leather. It's not quite what you would expect. So again, that's just kind of why I think it just adds more of a modern vibe to everything. So yeah, I would say anything you'd wear a Chelsea boot with. Again, the things that I like to pair this shoe with in particular, I think it looks great. My number one thing of all time are these maxi or midi skirts. I really, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I really struggled to style these skirts for a while because I just felt like if I wore them with a ballet flat that they would look too prim and proper. If I wore them with a chunkier boot, that it would look too kind of heavy on the bottom, and then to have all that fabric covering me, it just wasn't as elegant as I wanted something between like a ballet flat and a chunkier kind of combat boot on the bottom, or a Chelsea boot on the bottom. And I really think this shoe fills that gap because again, it's so form-fitted, very snug on the ankle, very elegant looking, but still modern. I think it looks so good with a maxi skirt and just like an oversized sweater if you want to go for a more apocalyptic bohemian type look. I think this looks really great for winter. Again, this was how they styled it in the Pixie Market campaign, and I just think it's such a cool, effortless look. Looks like this are my absolute favorite because they are appropriate for so many occasions. You could wear this to dinner with friends, you can wear this to work. Like, I just think there's really not an occasion where this is not appropriate. It's, you know, great materials, it's covered up, it's conservative, but it's also stylish and fashion forward. I just think this is a really fantastic outfit. And I do, of course, tend to like to pair more neutral colors with my outfits if you're new to my channel. And I do this on purpose just because A, I get a lot more utility out of my wardrobe. Things just match better when a lot of stuff is black and gray, frankly. But also from an aesthetic perspective, I think it gives a really beautiful streamlined look, especially the black skirt with these black shoes. I think just gives you that long lengthiness, especially with this gorgeous column shape of the skirt. I think this makes for a very flattering silhouette on the body, especially if you are a little bit more on the petite side. I'm not particularly, I mean, I'm petite in that I am a little bit smaller built. I am 5'7", but I do have very short little legs. So having this lengthening of the bottom part of my body is always welcome for me personally. So I've really been loving pairing these maxi skirts with these cool little shoes because I just think it just takes it to that place of, again, modernity instead of going really dowdy. Another way that I have been loving wearing this, which is very similar to the maxi skirt, is with a maxi dress or a midi dress. I have this in quite a few forms of sweater dresses. It's one of my favorite things to wear in the winter. Again, if you guys are new to my channel, you will not have seen these, but I absolutely love a sweater dress. I love one that goes all the way to the floor, like this beautiful one that I have from Totem that has this really gorgeous scarf that you can take on or off. But I also love mine that are that kind of midi shape. That's the nice thing about a boot like this is you know, do get a little bit of coverage around your ankles so that if it is cooler on the cooler side, then you're not exposing like too much leg. I also like wearing these with tights. If you want to get a little bit more uniformity on the leg, then you can kind of cover the gap, even though I think the gap of having a little bit of skin between this and the midi skirt is actually kind of cute. So yeah, wearing this with sweater dresses as well. I also love, because I don't mix color and pattern a lot in my outfits, I really enjoy mixing textures. So mixing like mesh with leather, whether that be real or faux, and or a nice wool skirt with the mesh and then a cashmere sweater, I just think adds a lot of visual interest to an outfit, and it's kind of a nice hack if you are not mixing color and pattern, which for all the reasons I stated earlier, I don't tend to love to do as much. Another conservative item that I think can be really tricky to style sometimes is the cardigan. It's the one that I'm wearing right now. I talked about this in my cost video. Again, applying an unconventional material like this sort of mesh to a more conservative style like the cardigan, I think is a really modern take. And so this is a great example of that, but also just pairing a more traditional wool cardigan or knit cardigan with, you know, trousers or jeans or these boots. It just, in the same way that a Chelsea boot would, it just brings a little bit of toughness and modernness. How many times can I say that in this video? Adding a touch of modernity. But it does. So when I'm styling a cardigan, I mean, I could go all out and style a cardigan with the maxi skirt with the boots, but even if I just have on a cardigan and a pair of jeans, which is honestly my go-to outfit in the winter, especially when I'm working from home, my body temperature is fluctuating, maybe I'm in a meeting, getting a little stressed out, you know, I want to take the cardigan off, and then I'm working back again, put the cardigan back on. It's just nice to have something to add a little bit of cool factor to a more traditional item like a cardigan. So definitely taking cardigans and mixing them with the boots. And then the other thing again is like, while I love pairing this with skirts, I do think these boots also look really fantastic with jeans. Similar to the maxi skirt and the sweater dresses, which have a lot of volume, if pants have a lot of volume, which a style that I've been absolutely loving this year. It has become so popular ever since Alaya came out with that really exaggerated hourglass shape. The barrel jean and the barrel pant. I'm going to style it with two pairs that I absolutely love. One is from a recent Mango purchase that I had. I did end up returning them and getting them in size 2 because I thought they looked better, less oversized. But they still have an oversized, exaggerated shape. So by having a really streamlined shoe, the attention can be all on the jean. And again, having a more streamlined kind of conservative piece on top, like a cardigan or even just a turtleneck. I think this is such a chic, minimal outfit that looks great with like a big coat over the top. So really just balancing and playing with proportions. These shoes can be very understated and just provide a little bit of sleekness to balance out, you know, all of the volume that's happening with the pants. Similarly, I love these brown pants from COS. I hope you can still get them. I would be surprised if you can because they have been so popular, but these are kind of a cotton, almost like a khaki pant, but they're in this gorgeous dark brown chocolate color from COS. Again, these are in a size 2. And while these don't have a cropped shape to them, they go all the way to the floor. I think these look great with, obviously it's great to have the ankle nipped in, but even if you can't see them, just having the little mesh peeking out of the pant, I think is a little bit unexpected. And again, shocking, but a little modern and a little cool. Like it just makes you look like you have this interesting sense of style that maybe people weren't exactly expecting if you were pairing it with something more traditional, like a ballet flat, even though you guys know I love a ballet flat, but did just want to call that out. So these are a few outfit ideas of how I like to style these items. I will say there aren't a lot of resources I found online. Even Pinterest really didn't have a lot of ideas around how to style something like the sock boot. So I really hope that this video helped. I have been wearing these so much and I just feel so cool when I wear them. So I wanted to share these with you all because I think you guys and I are pretty aligned on having that like chic, minimal, modern style. And these have just been such a great addition to my wardrobe. In fact, I don't want to spoil anything because every year I do kind of a what's on my wish list for next year. So in January, I'll be sharing my kind of wish list and vision for my wardrobe. But given how much I've loved wearing the mesh version of these, I could see myself wanting to invest eventually in the leather version as well. So I just want to be fully transparent on that, but I hope that this video helped, and let me know if you have these boots too, if you have the leather version, especially how you feel about them, if you like them, and yeah. Or if you have a great alternative, let me know in the comments below as well for everyone else that might be looking for like lower price option. But I'll see you all in my next video, and I hope you're having a really great and safe holiday season.